If I was asked, what are the two traits that you will need most throughout your life? I would say that it's concentration and attention span. Regardless of whether you were a school child or a university student, or if you're in the corporate world or family life, sports or military, you need control over your mind. Concentration is your ability to hold your attention on one thing. Your attention span is the length of time that you can hold your attention on that one thing. Society demands that we can concentrate. Society demands that we have a good attention span. The school child, for example, needs to achieve good grades. In order for the child to achieve good grades, the child needs to be able to concentrate and hold their attention on the material they are studying. Society demands concentration and attention span, but nobody shows us how. You cannot have good concentration and good attention span if you have poor sleep quality. You cannot have good concentration or good attention span if you have dysfunctional breathing patterns. This is not about mindfulness. Mindfulness is not sufficient to address dysfunctional breathing. Mindfulness is not sufficient to address sleep disordered breathing. We have to look at what is the hierarchy of concentration. The hierarchy of concentration is deep sleep, invincible breathing, breath awareness, body awareness, and mind awareness. Deep sleep is achieved with functional breathing patterns, breathing in and out through the nose, with little resistance to breathing during sleep, not snoring, not experiencing insomnia, not experiencing obstructive sleep apnea. If you were a deep sleeper and you're waking up alert and energized and feeling refreshed in the morning, it is easy to concentrate and it is easier to have a sufficient attention span. But if you have a lousy quality of sleep, and many children have poor quality sleep, many adults have sleep interruptions, it is common for snoring, and obstructive sleep apnea is very common, especially in the male population and also in the female population post-menopause. If you experience sleep disorder breathing, your cognitive function is impaired. In terms of functional breathing during wakefulness and how this can impact your concentration and attention span, when you practice breathing light, you're taking your attention out of your mind and onto your breath. You're softening the speed of the air coming into your nose and you're allowing a slow and relaxed exhalation. You're reducing the volume of air that you are breathing to create air hunger. This implies that carbon dioxide is increasing in the blood, and as carbon dioxide increases in the blood, it helps to dilate blood flow to the brain. It also helps to increase oxygen delivery to the brain via the Bohr effect, B-O-H-R. Increased carbon dioxide can have a calming effect on the central nervous system, and a reduced sensitivity to the accumulation of carbon dioxide implies lighter breathing and slower breathing. Lighter and slower breathing helps to achieve a better balance with the autonomic nervous system. There is less dysfunction of the autonomic nervous system when our breathing is light and when our breathing is slow. When our body and mind is in a state of balance, it is easier to concentrate and it is easier to hold our attention on one thing. But if our breathing is fast, the mind is agitated. If our breathing is upper chest, the mind is agitated. Mouth breathing causes fast and upper chest breathing. Mouth breathers will have a greater tendency towards an agitated mind. Despite the physiology of breathing and how it may impact mind and body, 25 to 50% of studied children persistently mouth breathe. 50% of adults persistently mouth breathe during sleep. This group of individuals are not going to reach their full potential in terms of concentration and attention span. Children who are struggling in school, we should be looking at their sleep and we should be looking at their breathing. It's unfair on these kids, it's unfair on university students, it's also unfair on corporate workers who may be struggling, dealing with high stress levels, not due to their lack of intelligence or ability, but due to poor sleep patterns and poor breathing, which is holding them back. Even though concentration and attention span are vital tools and traits that we use throughout our life, we are not being shown how to improve our concentration and attention span. Some people naturally have a good concentration and attention span. These people excel. Those people who are more susceptible to poor concentration and attention span include people with respiratory issues such as asthma, people with anxiety or racing mind or a susceptibility towards panic disorder, people with sleep disorder breathing including insomnia, snoring and obstructive sleep apnea. Especially for these groups of individuals, children and adults, it is very important that we investigate their sleep and we show them how to achieve deep sleep. It's also very important for them to train their breathing patterns, to achieve functional breathing, to achieve nose, light, slow and deep breathing. Concentration and attention span is something that you are going to use throughout your life. Let's train the brain to hold its attention on one thing and to hold its attention for a sufficient length of time.